One thing that I've sort of realized lately is that when somebody has had eating issues before, whether it be just really rigorous eating schedules or kind of the need to have control over food, I feel like that sense of control is kind of like a coping mechanism that stays with you throughout life. Because even though I'm at a point in my life where I feel like day to day I don't really have to struggle with food that much, if I'm really stressed or something in life is just everything's not really going smoothly, it's like the past tendencies tend to come back, and it's like everything kind of tends to snowball together. Or when I'm maybe like in a relationship and I have relationship issues, I feel like I have no control over that. Then I want to kind of like regain some sense of myself and regain some sense of like stability. And I think it's really easy in those circumstances to turn back to something which is like food, because in a warped way of thinking, I was talking to one of my close friends, and she told me she's kind of going through the same thing that I'm going through, and she told me that like food and your body are ultimately the only things you can control. And I would honestly beg to differ, because I've suffered from binge eating disorder for so many years, and even now, I haven't purged in a couple of months, which is good. I really don't like to purge, but I know that similar to like cutting self mutilation, it is a form of self mutilation, but it's people who don't do it, who haven't done it, don't understand. It's really just a rush of such emotion, and you're so overwhelmed with it, and it's just like it just goes throughout your whole existence. And obviously we would all want to cope with it in a better way. People are like, go out for a walk, do some yoga. But in the moment, like when you are just so full of like that emotion in that moment, you just like have to do something immediately. And I really don't like to get into those moments. And I haven't been feeling them that much since I was in, as I like to call it, my darkest period, which I was pretty much in when I think made my first ever YouTube video talking about this. I mean, now I have improved since that time of my life, but it's still like a recurring thing. It's not something that just goes away in a snap. And so I do see it coming back, and I hate that kind of pattern. It's like that kind of like fight or flight response. Like, do I give in to this urge? And then, like it's something like binging and like, the whole food control thing, something that's always going to be there. Because in a way, it's going to be reliable, but it's like a very unhealthy relationship, because you yourself are so caught um, between two worlds. So, yeah, I don't know. It's something that I'm still dealing with, but I'm dealing with a lot of stuff in life right now. Um, a lot of not even like related to necessarily eating disorder things, but a lot of like just. I think a lot of my, um, like eating issues and issues with food kind of stemmed from my childhood, which makes a lot of sense, because who people are, it's really sort of like it really like your childhood and the experiences that you had during your childhood really plays a huge role in a lot of personality traits that you have as an adult. And I think I definitely have that. Growing up, I didn't really have the most secure relationship with my parents. My mom had a lot of like, sorry, I don't know if someone's out there, but my mom had a lot of like anxiety issues, and she would always do this thing where I felt like I was the only person in the world who had a connection with her, and she would just turn on me, but I like desperately wanted to do everything I could to get that back, and she had a lot of anxiety issues, and she would always hurt the ones that she loved the best, which um, now as an adult myself, I see myself doing all the time, and don't quite understand it. I wanted to talk longer about this, but I think one of my roommates is home, so I'm just gonna cut this off now. But hopefully, I'll make another video very soon in the future, just talking about stuff.